Hey, what's up, y'all? It's DJ Jerica. I want to introduce you guys to my brand new series called the DJ Jerica Virtual Concert Series. Okay, so basically, what I do is I interview artists across the globe. Okay, and we discuss their current projects, their life stories, and events, and then they perform on my show, okay, virtually, whether they're in quarantine or if they're, wherever they are in quarantine, they perform. And I can't wait for you guys to see this episode. On this episode today, we have the artist, hip hop artist Ray Wimley. He is from New Orleans, and he had the opportunity to perform with Common during a cypher freestyle in New Orleans. And the video went viral. Okay, now this is my second time interviewing him. It's my first time being able to interview him face to face live. Okay, and just check it out, y'all. It's dope. Make sure you guys share it. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit the like button. And let's make the movement strong, y'all. Appreciate it. All right, you rock with me, the one and only DJ J Erica. It's the DJ J Erica podcast and YouTube. I am DJ J Erica. Now, before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and make sure you guys share and comment. Today, we have a special guest in the building. His name is Ray Wimley. He is from New Orleans, and of course, he's making buzz. He's been making buzz this past year with his music, and of course, he's a well-known MC. He's made a lot of progression in the past year. This is my second interview with him. He had the
Yeah.
opportunity. Yeah, it's been good. This is our first time we're actually being able to do an interview face to face. And for people that don't know his background, of course, his video went viral when he was performing with Common like out in New Orleans, and it helped to build your fan base up. And then most recently, you also in the past year went on Jimmy Fallon and everything else. So just tell everybody who you are and just tell your full story to the audience.
Well, my name is Ray Wimley. I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. I moved out to New Orleans maybe about when I was 18. I had got an opportunity to go to the University of Dillard, or Dillard University. And there is when everything kind of like started as far as my transition to becoming who you see before you today. Because in Arkansas, I wasn't like a MC or even known around my city in that regard to like rapping on a microphone. So everything started to happen when I got to college. And when I transferred from to UNO from Dillard, I started an organization called Open Mind. And Open Mind was a platform to give creative individuals an opportunity to express themselves through talent shows, through busking, through community service, through going to other schools and connecting. And that was kind of like at that moment when I decided to create the organization. Me and my homie Brian Paul, I knew a light bulb had clicked in my head, saying like, you know what, this direction that I want to go in. I don't know if it's gonna. I didn't know it was gonna be rap at that point, but pretty much that was kind of like a turning point in my life. And so after I graduated high school, after I graduated college and got my degree or whatever, my auntie asked me while we was going out to dinner, graduation night, what you gonna do? And at this time, I was still doing poetry and I was working on an album, my first mixtape or whatever. And I told her I think about doing poetry, and she looked at me with like the craziest look on my face because I got my psychology degree, and she was like, "Well, no, that's not right. You and your wife are together. She has like, medical history out in her family." And I was like, I understand that, and I know it seems like an ideal route, but that's not the way that I want to go. And my aunt really jumped in and was like, no, if this is what he wants to do, I think we should support that, and he should do it. She said, as long as he can pay the bills and put, a roof over his head and food on the table, I think we should support it. And so from there, I did have a job for a period of time while my wife was pregnant with my first child, but I ended up losing my job during the summer, and I had an amp from the organization that I was talking about, Open Mind, that my friend Chris Lewis had gave to me, and it was sitting in my house, and my wife looked at me and was like, "This would be the perfect time to go and pursue your rap career." And she said, if you give it 50%, you'll get 50% back. You give it 100%, you might just get 100% back. And so those little seeds stuck with me. Um, I didn't really know anything about music as far as like how to get on it. I always seemed like, I didn't know anything about anything. Like I wasn't even studying like record labels and which record label to go to and creating a mixtape. I didn't know anything. All I knew was I just wanted to be a rapper, and I had enough will to pursue it. So my friend Phil Silver, along with my wife, insisted that I go downtown in New Orleans and busk, which means I street perform for on passing foot traffic. So for the people that's downtown, whoever have a chance, after this COVID is over, and the things are the same. You'll see street performers out and about, busking downtown, displaying their arts, displaying their music talents, magic tricks, all of these things. And I was one of those people, and that's how I started like building my fan base, what people would call it. But I was just getting my chops, just learning how to entertain a crowd, bring people joy, get my lyrics better, and then so forth and so on. That progressed into me getting, attention in the city, getting called out to do events, doing interviews. I started going to different places in the country, and long before you know, I run into Common probably like maybe 4 years, 3 years into doing it. I had got introduced to him through one of his partners, but specifically I ran into him like maybe 3 years into doing it, and it's just been an ongoing, journey. It comes with ups and downs. I didn't have my kids, and I had to find a way to create like space and make sure that family was always emotionally supported and involved, which is very difficult for anybody that's pursuing anything because there's just certain things you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same token, I just want to give people a sense of inspiration on a daily basis to go after what it is that they want relentlessly and not have any excuses as to why they can't get something done. And that's the basis of what I do and build, a kingdom of heaven as it is on earth, or a kingdom of earth as it is on heaven. Like I'm really, really big on my faith, and that's what my music all entails. And I want that to be, put out there in the message. So that's like a short summary of like who I am as a person, why I do what I do, and how I've gotten to this point.
Well, that's dope. And also what I noticed as well is what makes you different is like of course you really stick to MC. Like you freestyle. Like I've seen you on your live. And for most of you guys that don't know, when he goes on his live often, does the IG, and he does his freestyling and everything goes. What I also noticed that you actually have a band that travels with you, named the Harbingers. And I wanted to know exactly like when did they get added to the equation, and was that planned? Like you wanted to be like an MC with a band, or how did y'all come together?
Man, that was just organic. I was rapping downtown on Decatur Street. It's like this. It's like a street in New Orleans, but it's like not really the main street. And I was just out there one day. I don't necessarily even know why, but I guess it was to run into them. And one of the leader of the band, Ben Bookminder, came over and was like, "Look, I play keyboard, and I know somebody that beatbox. I want to set up on the street with you." And I was like, "Okay." And I wasn't really big on collabs, I wasn't really big on people like joining me for what I did. But for some reason, his energy just was worth giving it a shot. He went and got all of the necessary tools to bust on that level, and that's how we first got our introduction to one another. He heard me rap and he liked it, and then when we played together, it was like magic. You know, it wasn't. It was like, wow, these dudes are awesome. Like they make up beats off the top of their head consistently. I freestyle for days on end, and the chemistry worked. And then after it was over with, we all just left and went home. We ain't even like really talk or like communicate with each other, but it set on my spirit, and we decided just to meet up every Friday, you know, to play and get some money and all of those things. And then over a period of time, we started to take it more seriously. Like, yo, this is something that's dope. We really need to like, try to create something. But that happens all the time in New Orleans. Like New Orleans is a place where they're not really in order for you to like really get known in the city, one, you have to have an amazing talent. And what'll happen is people see that talent and they'll bring you on stage. Some people will see me rap and they be like, "Look, I got a show tonight at Vasos. I need you to come and rap on stage." Or I'll play with a band New Thousand and they be like, "Yo, you dope. I need you to come rap in front of this and get the crowd hype." So like it's just this organic connection, and they just became more solidified because our sound is just amazing as a unit. And I think that's pretty much how we like, you know, transcended to staying consistent and being like a band, if you will.
Yeah, and I agree. And for most of the people, I forgot to add in the introduction. This is a new series. It's going to be a virtual concert series where not only do I interview the artists, but I also let them virtually perform. And I got this idea because we've been in quarantine. It's a ton of artists that's out there. And, this is a great time for me to be able to introduce you to a new audience, but also let them be able to hear your material as well. And I know they'll have time to watch the full series because everyone's in quarantine. Everyone's looking for
Right,
good
right.
music to listen to. So make sure you guys share it because it's gonna be big. This is like the first artist that I'm doing this with, and I'm very excited because he's gonna be performing here with the band after our
Yes,
interview. So this is
yes.
gonna be fantastic. Now I wanted to know more about like your performing in New Orleans. have you performed at Mardi Gras? Like, what is your overall experience as a performer out in New Orleans?
Man, New Orleans love me, man, and I love New Orleans. Like this is my, as far as music, this is my home. This is like where I made my foundation, and everybody is so receptive, and I get so much reciprocity from people when I rap. Like people love it, you know. Like I don't really have a problem like selling CDs or selling merchandise or putting shows together or having people come out to support me as an artist. Like they really, really believe in me out here. And so like New Orleans has been nothing but pushing forward. You know, it might be select individuals that might see otherwise as far as like whatever, but it's so much love, you know, I can't help but be grateful that I'm in a place like this, you know. So it's been tremendous. New Orleans is forever dope for me in my book. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I
a
always
great
wanted to
place.
visit there, you know, see what the culture is about. Everybody talks about Mardi Gras. So how is it doing? Like, have you ever performed like where Mardi Gras is at? Like,
Oh
have
yeah,
you ever
Mardi
like?
Gras. Yeah, Mardi Gras crazy. Mardi Gras is everything you seen. Every rumor you heard is Mardi Gras. So I don't necessarily perform. What? Let me word this correctly. I performed on Canal Street, which is
Okay.
Canal and Carondelet, which is a block. Literally looking in front of you is Bourbon Street. So
Hmm.
last year, me and my homie were playing from like 12 to 5 o'clock in the morning for like 2 weeks straight because Mardi Gras is actually, it's not just one day or a weekend. It's actually like a 2 week parade type. It's a festival type season. So they got different parades that come in. So it's about a week, but we was out there for 2 weeks. So from like the week of Mardi Gras week, which ends on a Tuesday normally. So from like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way to Tuesday, me and my homie Bunny Brooks is another good friend of mine that street performs. We will play from like 12 o'clock to 5 in the morning. We'd be exhausted, try to get some rest, go back out like at 3 to like 7, come back home, get another nap, and play from 12 to 5. And just, that's how we would make a lot of our money because it's a lot of people that's coming into the city. So that's when I would get a bulk of my money. As far as like for the activities and parades and the floats, they're beautiful. You know, and they have different parades for different people. And I always suggest going through the daytime. It's a little more safer. It's a little more friendly. Because it's so many. It's like it's not really restrictions. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Hmm.
lot. Police enforce certain things, but it's so many people to monitor. It's not really like a lot of um like restrictions as it could be on things. So I say go in the morning time. It's a lot safer. And it's a beautiful holiday. It's just, you know, just a lot of excessiveness, and I don't really participate in that as much. You know what I'm saying? Like really at all, because I just really go down there for one legit purpose to get my bread and then dip. So, but performing, people are very receptive. You know, they very open in the music. They be loving what I be doing. And this year I actually performed on the outskirts of Mardi Gras, and it was packed, man. It was dope. People was loving it. So like, I like it. I like some things I like about it, some things I don't. But overall, I've had a good Mardi Gras experience. I've had a great experience.
And of course, like before, for everybody that listened before to our first interview, when we spoke, you didn't really have any music to like present, but now you're
Yeah,
here today, and you have this new project called The Vibe, and it's you
yeah.
and the Harbingers, and this is a 4-song project EP. And please tell me about the project. Like, how did it come together?
Man. So what we do while we improv is we make up songs that is on the spot as well. So a lot of those songs that you hear on the album came from just us being together over a period of time, and we'll find ourselves doing certain shows, repeating some material because not everything is improv. After I've been with them long enough, because we know what works, and sometimes we reuse those things. And some of those songs, I'll be like, "Yo, this is genius. This is dope," and we'll just get in the studio and we'll crank out some of those records. And those four specifically on the track. The last one is called that was actually when we were on Venice Beach,
Like
and
that?
like that, yeah.
Yeah,
We was on Venice Beach in California, yeah, like that, yeah. She been
yeah,
listening, yeah. So
yeah.
that was a freestyle, and we were talking about like the Calypso Bay tumblers and everybody that was in the area and the scenery that was in the background, and that was actually recorded. I ain't gonna say accidentally, but my friend Zachary Bacon was doing a documentary on us, and he was recording a lot of our material. So we heard it back and was like, "Yo, this is dope." And we thought we had like a terrible day because it was just a lot of stuff going on that was hectic. So it happens like that a lot. Like we'll get up, we'll rap, and we'll just create this organic material, and then we'll take bits and pieces of those performances and put them in the studio and make a project. And it just kind of works. So the vibe is actually more so like a it's an experience of like who we are as individuals, like a very short synopsis, and like setting a tone of like hip hop with positive uplift with dope beats, different like musician, different flavor, different textures, and it's just a fun experience. And I call it the vibe because I just think that it is. I just think it's a vibe, it's an experience, and it gives you a little bit of everything, especially for the hip hop heads. It give them that. It touches on a lot of those things that some are missing. Elements today in hip hop. So
Yeah, because I listen. Of course, you said that I listen. Of course, I always listen to all the artists I put on my
it's
show.
dope.
Like I, I listen from beginning to end. I listen to your project, and I like the record that really stood up is the first record. Take a picture. I like that
Yeah,
record. It's
yeah,
really like coast. It just like it remind me like that. It's like that coasting record, like when you're out driving or skateboarding or something. It's just like some real positive like it gets you pumped. You know what I'm saying? In a cool
yeah,
way,
yeah,
though.
yeah. Take a picture of my joint, bro.
Yeah,
I wake up
yeah,
and listen to that like it ain't my song. Like I really like
yeah,
take a picture. Yeah, yeah, that's my joint.
yeah. It's
That's
like a
my
theme song. It gets you, gets you pumped. You know what I mean? And of course, like in regards to the project itself, so your band is the producers of the project, or do you have like in-house producers?
I have in-house producers for this specific project. Let's see. Take a picture was recorded at House of Chords. So I had him work on some things, and then I re-recorded it at Inner Recess. But they didn't. They added to the beat. They didn't make any beats. They were just engineering the project. So yeah, Harbinger Project would be my producers for this. Yeah, for this specific album, and I had engineers work on it to put it together and add stuff. So yes, they the producer. Yeah.
And I'm so excited about like just like your overall project and everything else. Like, how long did it take for you to record? Like, was it just like one big freestyle, like live situation, or did it take a couple of months for you to select?
Oh man, it was so difficult. It was the recording process was a challenge because for one, I noticed like when we went to certain studios, they didn't get us. They didn't know how we operated. Like all you have to do is plug. So Josh has a loop station. You'll see it in a performance. He has like this loop station and it records all of his beats. And then
Mm-hmm.
Ben has a keyboard. He has a Korg and a Juno, and they're direct into the system. So all you have to do is plug it in and let them play. And I guess certain producers are or engineers are so used to like adding something or changing vocals or like, but it came out so beautiful just originally how they did it. So I don't know. It was a simple thing that was really difficult. So
Mm-hmm.
it took a while. Man, it took maybe a year before we found the place. And not to say people didn't do good jobs before we found a place that was consistent to really put the project out. Then another probably like 3 to 4 months for me to get it on like Spotify and see which one I want to do and stuff like that. So yeah, but now it's a little easier. But it was challenging to get the official recording process and then meet up with everybody. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. But I'm glad we got it through it and we got music out there for people to listen to.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely
That
worth
was
it because
tough.
I was listening to your material and like I said, when I seen you on your freestyle and that went viral comment, I was like, wow, this dude is dope. But now I'll be watching you on IG and I'll be like, I was sitting there like he's super dope. Like when is he dropping his project? So now that your project is out, it's like I have something that I could pass over to other people for them to listen to you. And now I know because of the quarantine, it's been affecting everyone, especially when it comes to our entertainment community. How are you guys getting by with this whole quarantine going on?
Ebbs and flows, ups and downs. My personal outlook on it is staying positive and setting goals. So my my inner circle, like me and my wife and my kids, like I try to give myself something meaningful to do, and I try not to get drowned out by a lot of the information or the propaganda of what's going on. And I've been fortunately in a position to create a lot of music. Come up with a lot of ideas. I've been on IG a lot more. I done did a lot more interviews. I didn't like talk to a lot more people that's interested in my music. And family's been a great too because I had a lot of time to spend with my kids, even more so being my wife. We had some great conversations just talking about life. So the inner workings of quarantine has been great. As far as like dealing with what's going on in the world, I'm just empathetic to a lot of people that have to, unfortunately go through some of these situations where they're losing a family member, a sister, a mom. It's hard and it's heartbreaking because I think I've never, so many people, simultaneously have never experienced where the world just stops. Not in this generation. Like my parents haven't experienced that. So it's like we're all experiencing this time period where the world stops and we're not in control of what we can do about going outside. And that's been a blow and it's been difficult to take in. But I had to focus on what I could control, and I'm just looking at the light of government assistance, and then we're getting help, and then the food stamps. So what I would be stressing over has changed, I guess. Like I'm not really necessarily concerned about finances as much, but it's just I really appreciate, man, when I go back outside, I'm gonna be like, wow, I really appreciate this freedom to just be out and have a great time.
Yeah, and this is definitely like a time for you to just like just nestle and grow and like that's what I've been doing is basically like doing my of course I do my YouTube, of course I do my podcast. I'm trying to like basically like promote new artists, new talent and just talk amongst ourselves and I feel like that's what's gonna get us over the hill as an entertainment community. It's like us supporting each other, getting on these IG lives, having these conversations, you know what I mean? That is important. Like, you know what I mean? Because like they're paying attention now. You know what I mean? The people at home, they're paying attention. A lot of them, they like I said, I think I said on my podcast, a lot of them right now they don't want to pay the cable bill. They don't have the time to be paying $200-$300 on cable, but we can be that cable through our platforms. You know what I mean? Or just IG live, but he performing, or even like on YouTube when we're doing the interviews and stuff like that. And that's where the idea like the virtual concert series come from because it's like this is the opportunity for artists to be able to display their material, but also change the mood a bit because it seems as if like we're kind of like stuck in this like depressive mood. And that's what the overall experience is like. Just as an entertainer, I feel like that's both of our roles. Like whether me be a DJ, a host, or you being an artist. I feel like we have a big part of the community and just like keeping people's spirits up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we always been those people to be like, yeah, even though the world is focused on this, I'm finna focus on this. I think that's the beauty of music, right? And art, like it can take you to a place like outer space or to another dimension or to another time period because of just exactly what it is. And I think you're absolutely right. Taking this time to be like, okay, I could focus on the negative, but at the same token, like it's always two sides to the coin, and you just got to like go with that and just recognize, okay, what can I do to promote positivity? Because at the same extent, it's been so much like separation from humanity, contact with the out world, that the world is actually getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
trees and lakes are looking good now, and certain stuff like that. So you got like benefits that's happening that you got to look at, and you got to be like, man. So I think it's all just keeping in perspective and trying to recognize, okay, you can make a difference, and you never know. Like your music can touch somebody that might be going through it and be like, yo, I didn't even think to look at it like that way. So I really do believe that it is. We have that duty. I believe that. So
And I
yeah.
did some research that said that about 300%. The streaming was up 300% in the music industry. So this is
Wow.
financially benefiting people. You know what I mean? So I mean, people are actually downloading. People's giving the time to actually listen to projects and stuff. So like I told a lot of people, like if you're in entertainment business, if you are a social media influencer, artist, this is the time for you to get your projects out
It
and for
is.
people to hear your projects and to do those purchases. And even like I see Erica Badu. Like I don't know if you and your group ever thought about it, but I see Erica Badu did this like $1 like in string concert series. I mean, I feel like artists could benefit from that too, and just like get straight to the money without having to like pay out a whole entire team. Like you could do like your indoor own concert or something. So I was thinking think about that, and that's also like where I got this idea of like this quarantine Skype concert series. It's just like interviewing artists where they are and then seeing artists perform where they are. You know what I mean? I think that that's the dope part about it. Have your team ever thought about doing something like a quarantine type of concert idea, like for your fans?
Yeah, me and Harvard Project. I think a couple weeks ago, um, we had got together probably like a couple days out the week, and then I was gonna think to do like 3 days a week, do my live streams solo, and then do like 3 days a week with Harvard Project for like an hour and do a concert series, and that's what the Daily Dose of Inspiration was about. Like, yeah, I definitely thought about just being on live and not overthinking it and just playing, just
Yeah,
rapping, just having them in the
yeah,
background doing some music that can donate, and so yeah, we definitely we might make it like a little more. We trying to make it as artistic as we can because my homie said that they got a space actually and where he stays, and we can use some of the equipment and do it in there to make it look better for the aesthetics. But yeah, we definitely thinking about that. And I really that really motivate me that artists, they look at it in like Questlove is still DJing and DJ Nice is still spinning, and then they got all of these like different battles going on, and like people
yeah,
not like they not letting it eat it they energy at all. They just like, what, we finna find a way. But again, that's the creative, like the creative,
yeah.
it don't stop because you quarantine. You know what I'm saying? It
You just
don't
gotta
stop
keep
like
moving. Yeah,
it gotta keep moving. Yeah, it gotta
yeah.
keep moving. And I think some of the dopest music might come out of this time. I think some of the dopest ideas might come out of this time because we have more time to think, and it's not this pressure of going anywhere. And I think people who really serious
Deadlines
about music,
everywhere. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, it's you don't have that issue. So if you're really serious about your craft, you're gonna take that extra time to create something beautiful because the world gonna need it. And if you just doing it for like, likes and all of that stuff or like fame, that's not really readily available at this moment. Like to be
Right,
on
right.
tour and stuff. So I think people really gonna be doing it because they want to do it. I just think it's beautiful. So we definitely, and we got some more ideas in the works too. We trying to figure out how we can drop some videos and stuff like that. So we
Yeah,
definitely gonna
yeah,
come up with some stuff.
yeah. Definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing your project. And speaking of producers, you said people are battling. Who would you want to see battle producer to producer if you had to select anyone?
Producer to producer to see battling. I
Yeah.
don't know if like as far as them just exchanging music, yeah, because battling with producer would be different than battle rapping, huh? Because producers we
Yeah,
can
I
really
mean,
be
you
like,
can say who you want to see battle rap too.
well,
That's
not well. See, I got to think about battle rapping. Um, I think producers is who I want to see like Kanye West and yeah, Kanye West and for real. I want to see like what type of creative energy would they would they get? You know what I'm saying? Like how what type of music? What would happen during that exchange if they like scratch? You know what I'm saying? That's something I
yeah.
would like to see, like Kanye West, and then uh if it's dead or alive, I like to see Jay Dilla versus like ooh, that's tough. Like a ooh, that's tough. Like a Ninth Wonder or something. I like to see that.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
like
would
to
be
see them
nice.
two like
Yeah,
spin it
that would
out.
be nice.
That's a lot. Though. Who would you like to see?
Well, it's happening this Saturday. I wanted to see Babyface and Teddy Riley, and they're actually doing it this
Oh
Saturday.
yeah,
So, yeah, so I'm gonna be
yeah. Oh, that's
watching
gonna be
that. Yeah,
dope. I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
Babyface had so much clout, bro. Like somebody just put me up on game about how intricate he was in the business.
You
I didn't know
what?
that.
He's a
I didn't
super
know that.
producer. He's a super producer. He
I
he
did
he done
not
put
know
out
that.
music for not only himself, the Dell. He worked with, I believe he what's it, Bootsy Collins. He started up with. I think he was part of Bootsy Collins band when he started up.
Wow.
He's produced music for TLC. He's produced music for Mariah Carey. He's worked with Kenny G. He's worked with He's I think he actually worked with Bobby Brown, and he worked with Michael Jackson as well too. Like it's like Teddy Riley gets the most hype because Babyface is like R&B. You know what I mean? And like Teddy Riley is New Jack Swing, and he produced like a new era. But Babyface himself, man, he's like a
He
super
that dude.
producer. Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah, he's
that
that
dude.
guy. Yeah, yeah.
I just found that out. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
like he responsible for so much work in the
so
'90s.
much work. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he won was it Grammy of the Year for Best Producer? Like like he's won a lot of Grammys. Like you should look him up. Like he won 11 Grammys actually. He's won 11
Wow.
Grammys. Yeah, like 40 nominations. So Yeah, but I'm
Right.
looking forward to seeing that battle because like I had mentioned on the channel that he had actually had coronavirus and like just had to
Oh
recover and
no.
everyone like thought that they had stalled the performance, the battle, because Teddy Riley wanted people to pay. But he let everybody come at him, and then like on his birthday, Babyface's wiki said that he actually had contracted coronavirus, but his family and them they have recovered and they're negative now. So he said that he was gonna do the battle tomorrow. So I'm ready to hear
What
it.
time?
9 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be like 8 p.m. over
Hey,
there.
okay,
Your
yeah,
time,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna be on Babyface IG. It's gonna be on his IG, so I'm ready to see that.
That's
you know,
gonna be
I
dope. That's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
I I'm ready to see that. And then we seen I seen RZA and I seen DJ Premier. And I'll be honest with you, like I feel like it was a draw, but also like on a personal level, I felt like I enjoyed DJ Premier singles because it shocked me more because I didn't know that he produced so many different things, especially for the Notorious B.I.G. and stuff. Because they like they basically like I said when they talk about Bad Boy, they think it's like Puffy, but you didn't notice how many people was
It's a
working with
whole
Puffy.
conglomerate. Yeah,
Yeah,
people that
yeah,
surround him. Like it's a whole
yeah.
situation.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But that's the music though, man. They got the face. They got the people that promote. They got the folks that's the business. Then you got the folks that's actually behind the scenes and stuff like that we know about. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I
yeah,
think I'm glad that they starting to get more recognition for what they actually do. I didn't know DJ Premier worked on some of Biggie tracks.
yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that song Biggie Smalls is the illest. that song.
Wow. I didn't know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And you would
yeah,
never know. That's
yeah,
crazy. That's crazy.
yeah. So it's a lot of it's a lot of people out there. I feel like the benefit of the quarantine is they're educating the music community of who did what and where did certain records and stuff come from because you don't know like some people don't know like unless you're a fan and like me I'm a music junkie, I'm a historic like music junkie like and like a lot of the people that produce certain records like I'm aware of it because um I follow them as fans, but there's other ones that I didn't have like the book catalog with me where I'm just like, this person added this is sometimes you don't know it. So it's really cool because certain ones I know for sure is them because they performing it or this and this, but there's other records that you didn't know. That's why I didn't know about DJ Premier produced that or this and this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. And like before we get off, I want to know about your experience at the Jimmy Fallon show because you was on there last year.
Oh
So how did
man.
that come together? Like you would comment all that. And I seen that interview was dope too. Like with the freestyle challenge y'all did. Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, man, that was amazing. So like it was last minute because originally I was supposed to go with because we talked right before that, right? We talked right before
Right.
that happened, right? So
Hmm.
originally what happened was I was supposed to go and rap on stage with Black Thought and Mama Fresh. And I was like, ooh, this gonna be dope. I was gonna go out and rock the stage at Philly. But Black had called me back was like, yo, we ain't gonna be able to do that one. We're gonna get you on Jimmy Fallon. I was like, word, you know what I'm saying? I was hyped. It was Friday. I think it was like it was either Friday or it was a Saturday night. And I know they was like, but you gotta leave tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I was like, oh
Oh,
snap, okay, well I gotta get everything situated with the kids. I gotta figure out how that's gonna go. And it was difficult because it was just last minute, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a big opportunity. And so I decided to make the decision to go. I get there, I'm telling my mom, I told my sister and them, they ecstatic because my auntie to this point, she didn't know. Like she didn't even know who Carmen was. You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
really?
It's my big auntie, so she like 84. So
Oh,
when
okay.
I told her I
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
LA, she was tripping. Like, you in LA, how you paying for Beverly Hills hotels and stuff like that? I was like, auntie, I'm with Common. She's like, who is this Common boy? So she was like totally unaware. Man, when I told my mom I was gonna be on Jimmy Fallon, she lost her mind. Like she started crying. My sister started crying. So that alone was just an amazing experience, and I was so grateful because I'm like, wow, like to touch them, for them to be like their son is going to be okay, because especially rap is a doggy doggy world. So I guess that
It
gave them
is.
a comfort to be like, wow, he's really
Yeah.
doing something major. So I get there and remember I was telling you when they left, they was all leaving in the black Escalade with the tinted windows and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I was the one in the black Escalade with the tinted windows, riding around, getting picked up from the airport. Got to my hotel. I get to get what I want on the menu. linked up with Black. It's been a minute since I seen him. We chopped it up. I met the homie Levan. They filmed me. I was my first time in New York. I never been to New York before. New York was dope. You know what I'm saying? I went to Manhattan. I'm looking at the buildings like your boy off Different Strokes. When he get out, he look at the building, look like Arnold. I'm like I'm lit. So I get into the place where NBC Studios and stuff is, and I didn't know like how they set it up. Is everything is like hello? Everything is like on a certain floor. So like you know you got Jimmy Fallon, then you got Jimmy Kimmel, then you got all of that. So anyways, I get there. I got my badge and stuff. I'm going up the elevator. I'm hype. I see Carmen. I shake his hand, and then I'm on backstage, and they got Switch Beats back there. They got Music Man Ty. They got all of the. They got Jimmy Fallon, of course. They got the Roots, and I saw Questlove, but he didn't have the afro. He had the braids. I guess he had like his So I didn't know who he was for like 3 seconds. So he came over and talked to Black, and I'm looking, and he just carrying on the conversation. I shake his hand. Then I get starstruck. I'm like, yo, that's Questlove. And I noticed, I'm like, bro, that's and I'm tripping, you know what I'm saying? So, but he was hella cool. And then we did like you do a rehearsal before you go on. So we do the rehearsal, and I'm in the studios, and I'm looking at the set and the stage, and I'm looking at the people and the cameras, and it was just amazing. I'm like, this is dope. And so after we do the rehearsal, they take me to the dressing room. I got my name on the dressing room and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got my own little. It was dope, man. They gave me the outfit that I have. They actually bought it for me right before set started. So they was like, look, we
really?
have some gear. They gave me some sneakers. They bought me some pants. They gave me a hoodie, and I was clean before the set had started. So we going to we getting ready. I'm nervous. We do this big prayer before it start. I'm nervous because I'm like, man, I'm finna be on national television. And so at first they was gonna have me in the crowd. So Common was gonna get the microphone, he was gonna rap, and I was gonna hop out the crowd and start rapping. They like, no. We gonna have him come from behind the curtain. I'm like, well, I'm about to be behind the curtain. So as they do the curtain, I'm just looking at the camera. And you can see the show before it started, Common doing the interview or whatever. And then next thing I know, Jimmy Fallon, welcome Ray Wimley, everybody. He said like real, like with a whole lot of energy. And then the curtain opened up. And I'm just looking like, wow, like I'm on TV. And soon as I get the microphone, it was game time. You know, he asked me the question. They told what we was gonna do. Game time. I do the freestyle joint. Now I see Quest. He got the afro out. You know what I'm saying? I see Black Thought up there. He on the panel. I mean, he on the stage. It's just dope, man. We went in the crowd, and then we really wowed them. You know. And so after that. It cut to commercial break. I go back behind set. Everybody shake my hand. We getting ready for Common to do his performance at the end. And then the producer of the show was just blown away with my performance. And she was like, wow, you are really talented. You're really gifted. And she was just so ecstatic. And the people were so kind to me. They gave me a gift. I got a bag. I got a coffee mug. I got a T-shirt. What else they gave me? Like a little card. I was like, man, I should have bought them a present. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was just so much love in that atmosphere at that moment. And I think everybody was nervous because they don't know how I'm going to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on TV. They don't know. But I did what I had to do, and everybody was just so proud. And then we waiting to see it when we get home. But we had a long day in New York, so everybody fall asleep. I saw it, and then I'm on the phone with my wife and my kids. Like, they go Daddy on TV. They go Daddy on TV. So he watching it because they recorded before. You know what I'm saying? So you can watch it. So I'm waiting. I'm calling my mama. She fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? She woke up and saw it, and everybody was ecstatic. And then next thing I know, it's all on Facebook. I'm getting phone calls from people. Man, it was crazy, and it was just like one of those experiences where I like, wow, like I'm on TV, and I'm on Jimmy Fallon, like I'm on late night. I got the couch. He said my name.
Big
like
one, yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
especially
it's a big deal.
From like just think about all the work you put in. Like these days, like right here, like getting set up and starting out and not knowing how it's gonna go, and then the ups and the downs, and then like oh man, this stuff is crazy to the good times. To like you sit back and just be like, wow, okay, I was on TV, and this is just the beginning. And I just felt that's just something I value, man, and it just that changed. It changed a lot for me in my personal evaluation to be like, wow, okay, it's something serious, you know. So it was dope.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
experience
that's
was dope, man.
yeah, definitely. That's definitely something for the history books, especially with your career and like that's just the beginning. I'm sure like once all this quarantine's over, you're gonna be at bigger places, bigger stages, and just the growth. That's what it's about. It's about life and it's about growth. Now, wrapping up the interview part of our conversation, just for the fans out there right now, this is the part two, and this is what we're gonna do, the virtual concert. Okay, so when we come back, Ray is gonna be with his band and they're going to be performing some singles off of their brand new EP. Okay. And I appreciate everybody. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. And make sure you guys follow him. What is your IG?
Man, you can follow me at Ray_Wimley. That's RAYWIMLEY. That's Ray_Wimley. RAY_WIMLEY.
All right. So when you come back, you guys are going to be here with Ray Wimbley and the Harbinger Project. So make sure you guys keep it live here with the DJ Jericho podcast. And I am DJ Jericho on YouTube. Subscribe now and let's check it out right now, y'all. Introducing Ray Wimbley and the Harbinger Project.
Here we go. We like to welcome you guys to an experience no other like no other. To the right of me, I got my homie Josh Smith, Gizmo. To the left of me, we got Mr. Buckbinder. And me, they call me Ray Wimbley. Oh, you call me Ray. Well, I just like to do this music for their mind because it's silent. Put it in their hearts. I take the beat in our body. Enough of that. Let's talk about people that's going through it. Look, the hustle. Know that this is not a hobby. I'm here to uplift them every time I can. Young and I'm capable. Coming a better man. Ooh, I'm loving the jam. I'm just chilling with my band. Mic in hand, doing things that I love. Can't wait till we hit the stands again. Then everybody is amazed. Hands raised when they see me walk upon the stage. Let them know the almighty. I come back with the almighty flow. I ain't stopping, look, I grow. I make music. And then I vibe and I move with my fellas on my left and my fella on my right. Man, it's extra crispy. That's what we do, dog. I know that the fans with me. I think I got everybody, so get me. I mean, get it. This is what it's gonna be. The beat is on nice, make it to the lights. I could be anything that I want to be. Why shouldn't with the homie? How you feel? Let them know what they just finna see. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Feel it? Feel it? Feel it? Feel it? So it's just a microphone check. You know, we gotta hear how the vocals is, and my homie over here bringing the noise to beat by. You know, it's just me and my boys doing something that's so cool. Chilling with my dude, laid back on this road. I just know 60 synthesizer every single day. Look this nice. How you feeling, man? Doing something for the people listening. This is why you play so cool. It's so nice. So you can feel the vibes. Yo, now we coming here live today, tonight. Whatever. If you was feeling the vibe, now we coming here live today, tonight, whenever. Oh, if you hearing that noise, it's just me and my boys getting live on the track. If you're hearing that noise, it's the man with the microphone and the red cap. If you're hearing that noise, I got my homie on the keyboard, looking nice on the left. This is what we doing for the people. Look, it's feeling this death. It's real hip hop, bringing it straight like that. So can you feel it?
All praises to the Most High. I'm chilling with my boys, the apartment project, the homies. So dope. Y'all mean so much. I'm glad y'all out here. And we bringing this music. I'm loving how it's sounding already. So we finna get into these tunes because we did a play. Not too much talking. This track is called Take a Picture. It's on the EP, Divide, DYBE. This song was created in Los Angeles, California on a terribly awesome day. So it's always a reminder, live in the moment, regardless of what's going on. It's beauty that's happening right in front of your eyes. But I think I can explain it better in song form. I just want to flow right now. It's been a long day when the world get ugly. When life give you limits, right? You supposed to make lemonade. Kick back, cool underneath all of the shade. There's still a lot of sunshine. I'm just trying to find a way to get paid and get mine. Like everybody else living in America, you know what's going on. Politicians still scaring us. I guess the moment that I have right now is so lovely. I can stay in the vibe forever. You know what I'm saying? Surfing in the background, good food, man. It can't get any better. I'ma call my lady in. She coming to town, probably go out to eat, spend a little time together. Me and our homies hit the boardwalk, did a live show. Next thing you know, pull the crowd together. You know me. So take a picture of the last song. Take a picture of the last song. I should have said that on the last song. Oh well. It must go on. It goes on like Erica Badu. I try to do things new, I ain't stop. I get enticed by success, always giving my best, never compromise, hit it to the top. Now currently I'm collecting currency, investing my art form, people seem shocked. But I'm compelled by a vision where you can feel the energy and feel free to offer your support. Been folk star dancing, money gets handed, made a little cash, my pockets are feeling better. Mood start changing, opposite of anguish. I'm enjoying life while bringing people together. Everyone seems to have fun underneath the sun, moon breezing, the nice weather. So let the vibes hit your mind, take your soul on the ride, live free, make it last forever. Come on! Let's work now. We are the ones. We are. We are the ones. So take a picture of the last song. I should have said that on the last song. Well, what's going on? Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind and say the world is mine. Man, I say early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind and say the world is mine. Man, I say early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind. Early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind. Early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind and say the world is mine. It's yours. Passionate thoughts on my mind as I write them down about where I want to be probably a year from now. Accomplish something that's overwhelming and so profound. Bring a tear to my mama face and then make her smile. Watch her hug me saying, son, look, you made me proud. Whole family happy for you because you held it down. Reminisce about the people that I parted with. Some the season was up, some was arguments. Still have my wife, people that I started with. I recognize the hardships, money made me better. I didn't stop, no one is made under pressure. Doing good, realizing I could be doing better. I'm happy, but just know that I'm not satisfied. Cause the world need to change, I can't let it ride. Propaganda stretching tragedy like worldwide. So early in the morning, I wake up and grind. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. And say the world is mine. I say early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind. Early in the morning, you go and grind. Early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind. Say the world is mine. Man, like temporary spirits live forever. Manifest what you want in life and they go do better. Take your time, go through your passion, never quit. But I don't know about yourself, it don't even make sense. Talking to the wise, gifted, intelligent, and articulate, educated, that haven't seen. They work hard and their success is their evidence. Being happy is the only thing that augments. They out to them, but it's so many haters. I was taught to do good and respect my neighbors. And the world was society seek the living favors. Disrespecting their elders and pray for bad behavior. It's the norm that goes get it done, killer. Kind of style house, broken trust, full of triggers. Misunderstanding, but I'm doing proper plans. We can work through these angles. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. Early in the morning, I wake up and I go and grind. Say the world is mine. I say early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind. Early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind. Early in the morning, you wake up and you go and grind. And say the world is mine. Take us home, man. What happened? No, it was COVID or heaven.
Fantastic. Thank you.
That was dope.
That was dope, yeah.
This next track is called, this actually, I believe Josh came up with this beat. It originally was called Nice, because it is nice. You know what I'm saying? And then it's too deep. So it's really both of those words. If you see the video and you see nice at the beginning of the video, that's just because it's nice. So without further ado, I'm about to go to one of my homies over here. Josh, you run it soon. You got me. It's so traded the street bars. Street bars. Man, the vision precise, he won't think immaculate figures. Flash meetings for the light with elaborate dinners. Tops the layers reminisce on their wacky adventures. At the party in the back where they barely remember. Cash flow, everybody count checks. Scrolling through his phone like who I call next. Caught up in the moment, got him feeling like he's blessed. Diamonds on his neck, got him feeling so impressed. His brothers make no want to do anything he suggests. Knowing that some people do anything for success. Hoping that that feeling won't be something he regrets. But distracted by the fact that she already got undressed and asked. This what we working for, ain't it? Smurf said, dog, I can't wait to be famous. I understand this, that image overrated. Left a lot of people skeptical, living their life jaded. Refrain from real feelings, living in the moment, but liquor forever present. We stay potent, party never ends. DJ keep going, money over everything, trust stop growing. But this is my personal belief. I feel like everybody really want relief. Free from being judged, just a place where they can think. Open up their mind as somebody that's unique. Join the conversation while they get something to eat. And you can feel it's real when you once felt deceit. Man, I think we all deserve blessings. Even if we all have imperfections. Though, I just offer this perspective. Heal me at a point in time when I was living reckless. Finding my identity, trying to be accepted. Talking to my inner soul, where I stay connected. about being black in America. Pray I stay protected. Karma couldn't kill me. I could have been arrested. Somehow I excel doing more than they expected. I plan to cherish every moment, providing the message y'all are free. I think it's getting too big. I think it's getting too big. That's too big. I think it's getting too big. Man, they don't want to hear that. They want to party. They want to drink. Some party. A little smoke. And then it don't choke. Man, I follow my heart. That's why I make music. Your life about happiness. Please never confuse it. Rapping for a greater purpose, out to make a movement. I was on edge lately, y'all the verbal abusers. People that lack faith, claim you can't do it. Say you need a 9 to 5. Dreams for the foolish. Passion comes second. Money comes first. I was spawned out of anger. Deep down, I'm really hurt. They know when they hear my plans, know how this don't work. But I trusted my decision. God told me I was worth great compensation. People with compensation that revolve around wealth and a need for education and talk about oneself. Navigating the nation, but we forever hated. Doubting my generation. We ain't asked to be here. Please stay patient. No need for debate or starting a confrontation. I look at society, some elder generations complain about the youth, but they the ones who raised us. After father figure acting like it ain't gonna phase us. Mother barely at home making money for the kids. We grow up in this struggle like it is what it is. They don't blame the government because they got it in. Slipping, cracking the AIDS, smoking past to a friend with two and got addicted to make it illegal. The end is deep. I think it's getting too big. I think it's getting too big. It's too big. I think it's getting too big. Man, they don't want to hear that. They want to party. They want to drink. Some party, a little smoke, and let it in, but don't choke. And let it out the radio. Don't want to hear that. They want to party. They want to drink. Some party, a little smoke, and let it in, but don't choke. And let it go when it gets too big. That's just too big. Then you get too big. Too big. So now what the name of the album is, it's called The Vibe. THEVYDE. The Vibe. And so I'm gonna go let the listeners go check out that last track. It's called Like That, and we ain't played that in a minute, but we're gonna give y'all something super special, which is our freestyle and our impromptu. So I want Josh just to come up with something crazy, and then you're gonna see this man on the keys is bananas. So we about to do it up. We about to do what we do best off the top. Matter of fact, first word, DJ Erica. DJ Erica, DJ Erica, DJ Erica, DJ Erica, Hold on, Josh. Please give me a dramatic switch right now. Allow us just to come and vibe for a second, clear your mind and thoughts that be negative. Be introducing all the positive. I need solutions all around. I acknowledge it. I ain't stopping nothing. I feel like I offer out a scholarship when it comes to this rap. They can have it. Look this wicked, these clothes. Exactly. What I'm talking about is my mind is on the paper. I'm supposed to get something together because I feel all this whatever inside me. I got this feeling, this my army. On the right side, we got Josh. She never harmed me. charming. You bring the words to all the so daring. Rapper, everything I listen to, man, it's like magic. Matter of fact, just get it cracking. It's the gift mode. I mean, we come to get more. This guy ain't stops, not at all. Look, I'm ready to let go. I got some energy that's in my heart. I ball it up and then I send it out. This is what I'm talking about. I'm from this out. Well, this little rock, chilling in Nolan, but I got my homie watching the DC as I'm looking over my left shoulder. We get it cracking, making it happen, holding it down, when you grab it, what it is, loving the sound, fucking delegate. The vibe's so fucking delegated. The vibe's so fucking delegated. It ain't nothing you can tell us, ain't. But we going for the whole community. And the rap game, when I rap, I feel it's you. Whoever looking and they listen and they got their earbuds in like it's crazy. It sound like a Christian. I'm blessing the beat. It's my cover. When I spit making music on point, that's why I rap. Every single time in the joint, I'm with my homies go and feel look, I love it. We do this all day in general, but there's people walking by and they give them off what I stop. They get amazed like, oh my goodness, how you do it on the keys? You got the train fix, man, don't miss this what it is, cause I spit and I'm giving you this. Shot me drip, man, it's all about the skin that I'm in. Tell the day that I'm with my kid, he at it again. These are my friends and they hold it down. That's why I love this sound every single day, bringing it to you. Yo, it's that fucking delegate. Yeah, it's fucking delegate. Ain't nothing you can tell me. I ain't the only one over here that get busy on the microphone. You know, MC is a mic controller. So what you got going, Josh? So I'm glad that y'all tuned in. We appreciate the opportunity to drop some bars of music that's soothing. This is what it means for me to rap every time for the people I see on the track. Cause I gotta drop something that's dope and never whack. Man, I love the fact that I'm here because I'm black with my homies, the different colors, but they still brothers, man. This is what it takes. I make music like no others, but hold on, I'm just spitting the flows. They giving y'all something from their soul. I like the way they keep me confident. I'm letting them know. I got one person to introduce before we all go is me, but that's the end of the show. So thank you. Is that good? I just call it in the moment.
All right, yes. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Make sure you guys follow them on social media. And make sure you guys keep it locked here on the DJ Jericho podcast. YouTube, I am DJ Jericho. And we're going to have even more guests. Thank you so much.